Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're here for the first time, you're welcome. My name is Ame. I'm a Nigerian immigrant living in Portugal. So last year, I made 2 videos about job seeker visa for Portugal. The first one was in June when it was officially announced, and the second one was in October. And I stated in that video that job seeker visa has started, but they started it with Portuguese colonies as a pilot, to test run it. And I think this was because Portuguese is their official language. So it will be a lot easier for them to come into Portugal and get a job in those sectors that require Portuguese language proficiency. And I'm talking about people from Brazil, Mozambique, Angola, and the rest of them. So, sometime in December 2022, a news was released in Portugal that a lot of youth are interested in moving to Portugal for work. So, at the moment, job seeker visa has been rolled out to all nationalities so that job seekers who have other language proficiency, mostly English, can come into Portugal and get a job in those sectors that require English language proficiency. So the question is, can everyone apply for this job seeker visa? Yes, it is open to all, but to be honest, not everyone will be accepted. There are jobs that are in demand in Portugal. And secondly, there are some national programs or some jobs that are in some sectors that you can only get a job in if you have Portuguese language proficiency. So for someone who speaks only English, it will be very difficult for you to get a job in those sectors. So your chances of getting job seeker visa from your country or any country of your location will be very, very slim. I'm not an immigration consultant or an immigration lawyer. This video is based on my experience living in Portugal for 6 years, and also because we understand how the Portuguese job market works. So my husband will be sharing a few sectors that have 95% of acceptance rate. He will also walk you through the website. If you're in any of these sectors, right, your chances of getting the Portuguese job seeker visa will be high. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, share my videos with your friends and your loved ones, and keep watching.
Hello guys, you're welcome once again to Immigrate with Ame. And today we are focusing on Portugal. We are talking about a particular residence-oriented visa category, which is called the job seeker visa. I know that this is more or less like a hot topic, right? We've been seeing a lot of information. It's good if we actually present you with some facts which can guide you in taking a decision if you want to take this opportunity or not. So basically, the job seeker visa is a visa category, all right, that entitles the applicant to be able to come into Portugal for the purpose of looking for a job. So it's for people who want to come and work in Portugal, regardless of the job category. All right. So if you're looking for a job, you want to come to Portugal, there is a visa category that you can apply under, which is called the job seeker visa. And basically the modality for this visa is that it enables you to stay in Portugal for up to 6 months. So when you apply for the visa, you're going to get a 4-month visa to come into Portugal. It's a single entry visa into Portugal. And then within that 4 months, of course, your main goal is to look for a job. Okay, and then once you get a job, you can use that job as a means to apply for the residence card to remain in Portugal as a resident. If you now have families back home, you can now go through the process of what they call the family reunification to bring in your family after you have gotten your residence. Okay, now if in that 4 months you are unable to get a job, there is grace for you to extend that visa for another 2 months, okay? So making it a total of 6 months, okay? And then you will have more opportunity to look for jobs. Now, if you are unable to get a job within that 6 months, you would need to actually leave Portugal, okay, back to your home country or where you reside, and you can only apply again for this job seeker visa after 1 year. Okay, so that is the current modality. And of course, if you look at the general requirement of this visa, basically anyone can apply for it. Anyone with work experience can apply for this visa. But the main goal of this video that we are doing today is to throw more light into how you can boost your profile in applying for this visa. Because as you can imagine, right, if all nationalities of all countries can apply for this visa, it means that professionals from different parts of the world who want to work in Portugal are all applying for the visa. The reality is that it is not everyone that will be granted this visa, right? So they would need, the immigration office would need to use some, different criteria to select the kind of people who have the right profile that they are looking for in Portugal. And I think as an applicant, this should be your focus. How do you make yourself suitable for the immigration office so that they can approve your visa for you to come into Portugal? That is the focus of this video. Okay, if you look at the general requirement of the visa, okay, they are more or less so the visa application form. Okay, and on this particular website you can actually find the link to get that form which you can use to apply for the visa. Okay, you need a passport or other travel document which is valid for 3 months after the date of your proposed return back to your home country, and then a photocopy of the data page of your passport. You need 2 passport photographs. You need to show proof of regular situation if you are residing in a country other than the country of your current nationality. So if you are going to apply for this visa in another country which is not your country of citizenship, you need to also show that you have the residence permit for that country. Basically that. Okay, also you would need to submit your criminal record certificate. Okay, and usually it has to be more or less, authenticated and even legalized by the Portuguese consular or the embassy. You would need a valid travel insurance which covers the necessary medical expenses, including urgent medical assistance and possible repatriation. You would need a transport document in the form of a round-trip flight reservation which clearly shows the date of departure and the date of return. Okay, and then also you would need a proof of financial resources which is equivalent to at least the sum of 3 guaranteed monthly minimum salary. So currently the minimum wage in Portugal monthly is 705 euros. So the minimum financial resources that you need to show proof of is that amount multiplied by 3 months. That is the basic. Of course, you shouldn't show the basic, right? You should show more, right? But this is actually the minimum. Also, if you have someone within the Portuguese territory, maybe, like a family member who can take responsibility for your well-being while in Portugal, then that person can actually act more or less like your sponsor, and the person can fill what they call term of responsibility form, which you can use in place of submitting your own personal bank statement. Okay, so basically these are the general requirements which anyone can actually get. However, one thing you need to be aware of is that before you can apply for that visa, okay, you need to present what they call the proof of presentation of a declaration of expression of interest for enrollment in the IEFP. So IEFP is more or less the Portuguese job board. Okay, so that is the government agency that manages employment, training, and stuff like that. So you have to show an expression of interest to this particular body, okay, by actually submitting your profile on their portal. That's the first stage before you can apply for the job seeker visa. Okay, so from this government webpage, this link takes you to the place where you can submit your profile on the IFP portal. So if you click on it, it's going to open to you this page, all right, where you can now see the link, okay, to apply for the declaration of interest. All right, so this is the generic form which I'm going to open now. All right, so as you can see, for the job search visa application, this is the page where you can fill the declaration of expression of interest for IEFP registration, meaning more or less what you are saying to the government is that you are genuinely ready to look for a job in Portugal and you are submitting your profile before you go ahead to apply for the visa. Okay, so basically you can see the general statement here. I identified below declare that after entering Portuguese territory, I intend to register with the Institute of Employment and Vocational Training to look for work. Okay, so you are giving them that information beforehand that you are going to register with the Institute of Employment and Vocational Training in a bid for you to be able to find a job within the Portuguese territory. So basically, you will just need to submit your profile in terms of your name, your date of birth, your passport number, the date your passport was issued, when your passport will expire, your nationality, your country of residence, your email, then, your level of education as well. And then you are going to choose the areas where you have work experience. Okay, so at most you can select up to 5. So if you have worked, for example, as a financial expert and then also a legal expert, so you can click on expert in finance and then you can also click this. So you can select up to 5. Okay, and it's a very long list. Just look for the one that goes in line with your work experience, not where you are looking for a job, your experience. Okay, then after that, you also have to apply to tick at most 3 areas where you are looking for a job. Okay, so basically the idea is whatever areas that you have experience in, that is where you should look for a job, because that is where you are suitable to operate in, right? So you will select that here on this long list. You can select up to 3. Okay, and then you choose your years of professional experience, you choose your language knowledge, so you can tick how many languages you are proficient in, and if you have other languages, you can include them here. Then you can select the language that they can use to contact you, either French or Portuguese or English. Okay, and then here, basically, it's a declaration of commitment. So you have to, accept these 2 conditions, and then you can submit your profile. Once you submit your profile, they will send you more or less like a confirmation. Then you can now go ahead to apply for the visa. But basically, one thing you need to be aware of is that as someone who is coming to Portugal to look for a job, first, you must have the requisite experience in that area that you want to look for a job in. Okay, so you need to show that you have experience. You can show that first by your educational background, if you have additional training or certifications, and then if you can also get more or less like job reference letters, right? Recommendation letters from past employers who can attest to your skills and to your experience to be able to carry out a job in those areas. That's the first thing. So this is how you show your profile. Okay. Secondly, and I think this is also very important, you need to understand that there are certain job categories that are highly regulated in different countries, not only in Portugal. So if you talk about medicine, nursing, for example, social work, teaching, these are more or less national priorities, which means that you would need some form of licensing, you would need some form of certification, you would need more or less, specialist trainings before you can practice in this kind of professions. So for the job seeker, I don't think it's ideal if you are applying to come and, work in those areas, because you won't have enough time to get all the required certifications, okay, for you to be able to get a job directly in those areas. Okay, so these are the things that you actually need to take a look at, and then in a bid to be sure that the visa will be approved, you need to ensure that you have a good profile which is competitive when compared with the profile of other applicants, because you have thousands upon thousands of people who are going to apply for this visa, and each country or each embassy will have a quota of people that they can grant this visa to. So amidst the multitude of people, how do you actually make yourself unique? So you need to be able to represent yourself, your profile, in such a way that your application will not have any issues. Okay, and that is what you need to focus on, guys. You need to know that there are a lot of opportunities, especially in the IT sector, especially in the hospitality sector in Portugal. So if you are in that area of expertise, this could be a good opportunity for you. So guys, we wish you all the best. Okay, if you need us to review your profile and then to help you represent your profile the best way, you can send a DM. Okay, Immigrate with Ame has more or less like a paid consultation service to support you in order to do this. Okay, so if you're interested in that, you can reach out to her through a DM and then you guys can pick it up from there. So it's not a general thing. This is on a case-by-case basis, and to better advise you, need to have a good knowledge of your profile in terms of your educational background, your training, and then your work experience. So guys, we wish you all the best. Please don't forget to subscribe if you have not. Also leave your comments in this comment section, okay? And you can always reach out to us, if need be, for 1 or 2 additional sessions, or if you need to make specific inquiries regarding your case, you can also reach out to us. So thank you guys for watching, and we wish you all the best. Have a lovely day.